बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। क्या हाल है आपके? खैरियत से? नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिमु अला रसूलिहिल करीम। अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। ये वाला माइक बंद कर दिया था। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। क़ाल जअलनी अला ख़ज़ाइनिल अर्द इन्नी हफ़ीज़ुन अलीम। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। Respected audience, brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In our previous Jumma session, we were discussing about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, that he has been released from the prison and he was given a very significant position in Egyptian government. According to scholars, he has been given the Ministry of Finance and Livestock. And this is what Prophet Yusuf himself demanded, and he said that ij'alni ala khaza'inil ard, that make me or give me the khaza'in, the treasures of the earth, which means or which signifies that give me this position where I can distribute and I can administer the livestock or anything that is belonging to agriculture or something like it. So the lesson that we get out of this verse is that talented, good people on occasions can show their credentials and can demand a position. It is not always good. It is many a times against the modesty. But wherever a just person feels that he has to show some credentials in order to get a job which is not just good for him, for his personal gains, but good for the entire society, he can show his credentials, he can share his CV, his past experiences, and then even demand or request the authorities that he should be given that position. And where do we get the justification? Justification lies here, that when he was asked about it, Prophet Yusuf, without any hesitation, demanded that, what if I am given this position? So he was given the position that he, and why not? Because the king was so much impressed by him that he really wanted that his ministries should be dealt by expert people, by honest people, by professional people. So Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, through his character, has manifested this feature of his personality, that he is an honest, he is trustworthy minister. So for this reason he was given this position. The second that the scholars can speak right now, because many of our Muslim brothers, they live in the non-Muslim lands, and by non-Muslim lands I mean that where the majority are non-Muslims, their government is run by the non-Muslims. So is there any possibility to participate in their government and making their government more impressive or more working or functioning? So scholars have also spoken about it, that here you get an idea that good Muslims, faithful Muslims, can have administrative positions even in the non-Muslim lands, because Egypt at that time was a non-Muslim. And Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam's demand of a certain ministry and then working under it shows that there was no inherent contradiction. And scholars have also spoken about it, that faithful Muslims, they should take a position which helps the entire society grow, and secondly, it should not hurt the basic purpose of Islam. So the unity of Allah Almighty should not be dismantled or should not be compromised at any adventure like that. Similarly, overall the Muslims, they should be growing and prospering in that on those circumstances, so these positions can easily be accepted. And then when Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam took up this ministry, when he took the charge, so when he took the charge of his ministry, he started working. And through his personality, character, experience, he demonstrated that how efficient was he. So he was really super good, efficient minister. When the country faces the challenge of drought and famine, when there was a lack of food and people were struggling to get the food, and if you remember that he actually interpreted a dream that the king saw. So Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam managed the entire country very well in that hard time of the country. Because when a country strikes a drought, when a country strikes a famine, this is not a normal time. This is absolutely abnormal time. There is a panic inside the society. Everybody is running to protect himself. There is a chance of security. There is a chance of law and order situation. So in this very hard time, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam managed the citizens of the Egypt very well, and he actually helped to maintain peace and order and tranquility with his wisdom and with his administrative capacity very well, that the Egyptian society did not face any kind of the challenge. So once he has shown his successful administration, then the country was open that they could sell the food to the other countries also. So when that situation becomes quite clear, Allah Almighty mentions this story. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier also, that Quran does not tell you the story without any breaks. There may be some shifts. And here, when Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was given this honor and respect, and he actually returned it with very good profit to the country, Allah Almighty says that, look, recall that time, remember that time when Yusuf was in Palestine with his father, and when there was a jealousy among the brothers, he was thrown into the depth of the well. Then Allah Almighty's intervention and the qadr of Allah Almighty has helped Prophet Yusuf, that he was sold into the market of the Egypt. Then he reaches to the palace of the king, and then he goes to the prison, and from the prison Allah Almighty has given him the very, very beautiful and very powerful position of economic ministry or ministry of finance. So Allah Almighty shows this thing that, look, this is me. I can put you there, and I could reward you that much. And this is my blessing. So this is how I shower my blessing upon the people. And Allah Almighty also shows this thing, that one day those people were powerful, those brothers were powerful. And today I change the cycle of the life, and now Yusuf, earlier his brothers hated him. Earlier his brothers thought that he is the source of evil in their house, because he is the apple of an eye of his father. So this is how I change days. This is how I change the possibilities of life. This is how I can bring possibilities of life to the people. So Allah Almighty has shown this thing that, look, this is how I change everything. And Allah Almighty here begins and says that وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُفَ. And then in this good time and very well settled, Yusuf has managed the crisis of Egyptian society very well. And when the borders were open, and when the foreigners and the international community started coming in Egypt to get the livestock, to get the food, because the entire region was facing the problem of the drought and the famine. So Allah Almighty says, look, وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُفَ. And then there come the brothers of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. فَدَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ. They came to him. فَعَرَفَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. Now Allah Almighty shows a scene. He says, look, as soon as these 10 brothers come and they arrive in the palace or in his ministry, Prophet Yusuf immediately recognizes them. But the brothers of Prophet Yusuf did not recognize that. Why? Because when Prophet Yusuf was young, his physical features were different. But his elder brothers, his half elder brothers, they had been grown up and the features were quite clear. So it is quite understandable that when they arrived, 10 altogether in the ministry, it was Prophet Yusuf who recognized them. Why? Because of their features. Features that they are from the foreign. And since they are 10, they are my brothers. But since Prophet Yusuf was quite young, his features were very different, and he was in such a beautiful and such a powerful position that these 10 brothers can never imagine that we have thrown this brother into the depth of the well. How can he come to that? It was unimaginable. But this is how God can make unimaginable, unthinkable things into the possibilities and the realities of the world. So, Prophet Yusuf recognizes them immediately, but his brothers, they could not recognize him. And what was the task at hand? The task was at hand that they brought some money for the barter system to exchange, and they requested that Prophet Yusuf hands over to them good amount of food so that they could survive. So Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam investigates that who lived with you, because he knew, and he was very curious about his younger brother Binyamin. So since brothers requested that we have a brother at home, and our father does not allow it. Why? Because of that mishappening. Prophet Yusuf immediately knew, because they cheated on him. So Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam knew this thing, but the brothers told him that our younger brother, the 11th brother, he did not come. Why? He did not come over here. Why? Because our father does not trust on us. And these brothers requested that we need 11 people's ration of the food, because Prophet Yusuf was distributing the food according to the number of the people of the family. So they have to show the proof that how many members of the family do they have in a family. So they claim that they are 11 people, and of course they are extended families. So according to historians, they were 17 number. So 17 number means that at least there were 11 families, right? So one family was missing. So Prophet Yusuf was inquiring about it. How would you prove this thing that you are 11 in number? Because right now you are 10 and you are requesting 11 people's ration. So how could I give it to you? So finally it was decided, and Prophet Yusuf said that when you come next time, bring Binyamin with you, because I do not trust on you. You have to show the proof that you have to bring Binyamin with you. Otherwise, I would not trust you. Otherwise, I would not give you another food. And Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, when he gave them the food, it was not just the food that Prophet Yusuf gave. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam housed them, hosted his brothers. He behaved with them with the beautiful fashion, in a very just manner, in a very beautiful manner. He showed his hospitality towards them. He showed that he is really a generous man. My dear friends, what is the lesson? The lesson is, look, his 10 brothers put Yusuf under compromise conditions. But look at the response of Prophet Yusuf. This makes good people good people. They have been behaved bad, they have been mistreated in the past, but when they are in power, they always behave beautifully. They always behave with elegance. They always behave with beautiful manner. They do not misbehave with that. And this is what our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam manifested a character in Makkah and Medina equally. And this is how the prophets used to show their character, that this is what human beings are supposed to be doing. Even if they have been treated not well, they are supposed to be treating well to their family members as well as to the other human beings. The other thing, these brothers, they had money. And whatever they presented for the barter system to get the food. Prophet Yusuf did not take that money from them. In fact, he returned what they paid in exchange of that food in their luggage. But of course, they did not immediately recognize that. So as soon as they left the city, they went back. They went back to Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam. So as soon as they reached Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, so these all 10 brothers, they spoke very well about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Of course, they did not know his name. Prophet Yaqub was not informed about them that he was our brother, but Prophet Yusuf knew food. Look, he has given food. Look, he has given us such good food. He treated us very well. He respected us. So generously he treated us. And if we really want food in the future, we have to take Binyamin with us to the Egypt. Prophet Yaqub was not satisfied with them. He said, no, I can't trust you. You violated my trust. You broke my trust when I handed over to you Yusuf. Now I can't trust you anymore. But they were trying to convince Yaqub that if we really want food, we want Binyamin with us. Secondly, when they checked their luggage, when they saw their belongings, when upon their return, they saw that, look, Yusuf did not charge any money from us. So he is such a nice man. So what he simply wants is that Binyamin should be brought back to the palace. So when they try to convince him, Prophet Yaqub says, I would only trust if you take oath on Allah Almighty. Unless and until you take oath on that, I would not hand over, I would not let Binyamin to go with you. And finally, Prophet Yaqub allows, after taking an oath, that I do not trust on you because you have already violated my trust. You have already broken your promise. You did not keep your words earlier. But right now, I do not trust you because of your past behavior, but I can trust on Allah Almighty. Earlier, I trusted on Allah Almighty, and this time also I would trust on Allah Almighty once again. So for this very reason, we need to think about it. We need to think about it, that how to move on. Scholars have spoken on this note also, that should we trust blindly, or should we take certain measures? So scholars have spoken that trusting blindly on people is not advised. Why? Because Allah Almighty says that you should do tawakkul on me. And what is the tawakkul? Take all material measures into account, and take all material measures into account, fully make sure that nothing is going to happen badly, and then trust on Allah Almighty. And this is what Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam did that. He said that, no, I don't trust on you. You are not trustworthy. The only thing, because you have shown me that you have been given food, and the minister over there, he treated us with honor, with respect. He was generous. He was a gentleman. And next time when we need food, we need to bring Binyamin with you. So yes, so I can see the evidences. The material evidences are there, but I would only trust Allah Almighty. And on that note, on that tawakkul note, Prophet Yaqub allows Binyamin to enter. And then there is another interesting Yes, we are running out of time. Okay. Okay, so I think we would continue next time from here onward, inshallah ta'ala. And that's a very interesting thing. And that is the story of evil eye or evil jealousy factor. That is called in hasad. And hasad, I think it's very important that we get teachings from Prophet Yusuf's story, that what is hasad and how important is that, and what kind of the precautions that Prophet Yaqub advised his sons, and his sons actually practiced that precautions in order to protect themselves from the hasad or from the evil jealousy factor. But we will discuss it in the next time. I think on this note I end, and before we move on and do the sunnah, I explain another important issue and the ruling of Islam. So in our previous session I explained to you how to do ghusl. Okay, it's very important, why, as I mentioned earlier, that doing ghusl is a part of bringing purity to yourself. And without purity, you can neither perform namaz, the salat, nor can you touch the Holy Quran and recite it, nor you can do any sajda tilawa. First thing is that the three are essentials, three are fara'id. Okay, one fard is rinsing your mouth, or pouring water inside your mouth such that from one part of the mouth to the other inside, the water should move around, and you should take a gargle. So make sure that rinsing your mouth should be so overwhelmed that the entire mouth is washed comprehensively. Then sniffing water upward through the nose, and your water should go from the soft bone till the hard bone. So it should also wipe out everything that is inside. Two things. Number three, your entire body should be washed. So entire body wash, this is first. Second, washing your mouth inside completely, squishing across your mouth. And number three, sniffing the water upward such that everything is wiped out and water must reach to the hard bone, right? So these are the three faraid. But these three faraid are circled with the sunnah. And what is the sunnah method of doing ghusl? The sunnah method of doing ghusl is that you would wash your hands until wrists, and then you would wash your private parts. If there is any impurity, you would remove it from your body, and then you would do a routine wudu, the sunnah wudu that we all do, and then you would throw water, or you would wipe water on your body, and then from head you would start, and slowly and gradually you would wash your entire body. And this is how the ghusl is performed according to the method of the sunnah. There is a very important precaution that is taken here, is that neither in the entire process you should face Kaaba, and neither your back should be towards the Kaaba. So you should neither face the Kaaba, nor your back should turn towards the Kaaba, and you should not do in the entire process of doing ghusl any kind of the supplication through your tongue until you complete your wudu. And after completing wudu, if there is a good enough time, so you can offer 2 rakat nawafil also, if the time permits. Otherwise, it is just a sunnah or the mustahab stuff. Now, the other thing that I would like to emphasize on and share here is, what is the method of doing sajda? Look, the very first thing I tell you is, whatever you are performing, namaz, sajda is fard, and fard means essential. It makes sajda. Okay, so any namaz, whether you are doing nafil namaz, sunnah namaz, faraiz namaz, sajda is farz. Farz means it would make your prayer, and if you remove sajda, the prayer will no longer remain prayer. So okay, this is called the fard. Okay, now in sajda there are some essential features. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, umirtu an asjuda ala sab'atin. I have been ordered by Allah Almighty to do sajda on 7 bones. I have been ordered to do sajda on 7 bones. What does he mean by that? He means your forehead bone. It must touch the ground. your palms, right? All these two palms, these two hands, they must touch the ground. Okay? 1, 3. Then your knees, 2 knees, they must touch the ground. 5. And then your toes, they must touch the ground. These are the 7 bones. So making sure that all your 7 bones touch the ground simultaneously makes your sajda sajda. And many a times our brothers are somehow ignorant about it, or many a times they are lazy about it. So any Muslim believer, any believer who is doing sajda, he has to make sure that all his 7 bones are on the ground when he is making sajda. Okay, let me explain some briefly also. When you touch your forehead on the ground, it simply touches that. A lot of people, you would find that they are grinding that. Grinding is neither compulsory nor advised nor ordered, because they have this misconception that there should be some mark on that you are very muttaqin, but no, not at all. Allah Almighty simply, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam simply emphasized that touch it, but touch it in a very good way that you should be sure that you have touched that. So touching forehead on the ground is compulsory. But with that, it is also advised by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it is called wajib, that your hard bone should also be touching the ground. A little bit press should be there, but not, too much pressure on that, okay? So when you touch the forehead, so with that, your hard bone of the nose should also be aligned with that, right? Now, there is another precaution that all your fingers, they should be facing towards the Kaaba. Because if your fingers are moving around this haphazard way, no. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he used to do the sajda, all 10 fingers, they are facing towards the Kaaba. Even his toes were also facing to the Kaaba. Okay, now let's come to this point also. At least one, I would say, big toe, the big toe, its belly should touch the ground. So the belly of big toe, this one, the thumb, okay, the belly of the big toe must touch the ground at least for a very brief time of saying 1 time Subhanallah. At least. And at least 6 fingers, they should touch their bellies during a sajda, right? This is wajib. So what is wajib? Wajib is that at least you should make sure that your 6 toes, they are turned towards the Kaaba, and at least, the least to make it a good sajda is that your big toe must be turned towards the Kaaba. It is fard. It makes fard, okay? And Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sunnat is what? All 10 fingers of the hand, all 10 fingers of the toe, they were all facing Kaaba in his all sajda. This is the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And because of our lifestyle, we all know that we have more lifestyle towards standing because we work, this is how we work, this is how we sit. Our bones have not acclimatized towards that. So from today onward, I think we should make hard efforts to make sajda according to the prescribed way, the way I have been trying to share with you. Let us pray Allah Almighty that make our...
And what about ladies?
They have the same ahkamat, yes, they have the same, unless and until they have been advised that they should make themselves compressed. I mean, they should be compressed while doing the sajda, whereas the men are advised that they should not be compressed, they should have been more open towards that. Yes, yes. नहीं, मेरे जहन में नहीं है कि अत्तहियात के बाद 4 चीज़ों की क्या पनाह मांगते हैं। अत्तहियात नमाज के दौरान जब आप अत्तहियात पढ़ते हैं तो मिसाल के तौर पर अगर क़ादा ऊला है तो अत्तहियात मुकम्मल करने के बाद आप खड़े हो जाते हैं, और अगर क़ादा सानिया या आखिरा है यानी 4 रकत या 3 रकत आप पढ़ रहे हैं तो उसके बाद दुरूद पढ़ते हैं, और दुरूद के बाद फिर दुआ मांगते हैं। वो जो 4 चीज़ें आप बता रहे हैं वो ये तो जो आप दुआ मांगते हैं, हाँ हाँ, नहीं, और मिसाल के तौर पे जैसे आप पढ़ते हैं ना दुआ दुरूद, ठीक है, तो दुरूद जब आप पढ़ते हैं तो उसके बाद आप देखें वो दुआ पढ़ते हैं, अब रब्बि जअलनी मुक़ीमस्सलाति व मिन ज़ुर्रिय्यति रब्बना। ये जो दुआ है यही बेसिकली चीज़ है जो कि शायद जिसने आपसे पूछा होगा वो होगा कि क्या चीज़ है जो कि आप तहियात के बाद पढ़ते हैं और किस चीज़ से आप किस चीज़ की आप दुआ मांगते हैं, परहैप्स ये होगा, लेकिन ज़ाहिर है उनके जहन में क्या है, आई हैव नो आइडिया। Okay. So on this note, I end and I let's do the sunnah and then we will be doing that namaz.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر.